Good morning, everybody. This is Tony Butler. I'm one of the life sales directors here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. And today's webinar, we have Jason Goodrich, who is the National Accounts Senior Manager with Equitrust. We're going to be talking single premium life um, with Jason. But before we get started, wanted to go through a couple of things here real quick. If you're familiar with our webinars, we've got some housekeeping items that we like to go through. So I'm going to kind of go through these pretty quick and touch upon some things that are kind of some things that we're talking about in today's environment on a consistent basis. So here we go. Okay, so here at IAMS, we do offer you, the agent, referral bonus. So if you know of any agents that are looking to get appointed with any of the carriers that we work with, you can have them give us a call. Once they get appointed with any of the carriers that we do business with, we do provide you with a $50 referral bonus. Any subsequent business that they submit with any of those carriers, we do provide you with 20 basis points bonus as well. So if you have any questions regarding the IAMS Business Builders, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Next, we also have new producer builders. If you are a new producer, first 180 days, we do offer different levels of bonuses for you, depending on the paid premium that is submitted. We do have 100,000, 250, 500, 750, and $1 million level. As you see here, there are different incentives for these levels. If you have specific questions in regards to our new producers builders, please give us a call. One of our sales directors would be more than happy to answer those questions. Here at IAMS, we do offer back office support for you. That's extremely important, especially now in today's environment. So we consistently want to convey the message to you that we like you to work smarter, not harder. So we do offer paperless contracting for you, case design help, business building resource tools. So if you need assistance with any existing business, business that you're looking to submit, please give us a call. We'd be more than happy to help you with that. I'd mentioned our current environment and the fact that agents aren't able to get in front of clients. So we have a couple of platforms that's available to you to submit electronic applications. One is through Firelight. If you're not registered, you can go to our website to get registered. As you see on the screen here, on the left are the carriers that we do have available through Firelight. And on the right, we do have some carriers that are going to be coming soon. So if you're interested, if you're working with any of these carriers and you're interested in getting registered, feel free to give us a call. We can walk you through on how to get registered. If you are registered and you just need some assistance as far as submitting the application, we can help you with that as well. We also have a creative marketing solutions department, and that department is designed to help you, whether it be turnkey, agency, or digital solutions. So if you're looking for newsletters or handouts, need help with logo designs, whether it's a new logo or redesigning a logo, or you're looking for online marketing assistance, they can help you with that. Uh, Give us a call, ask for our creative marketing department, and someone would be able to help you on that. I mentioned a couple of platforms that we have available to you in regards to electronic applications. Another one of those platforms is through iGo eApp, which you can get through our website. Our website is www.iamsinc.com. On the life side of things, we're finding that agents are looking to get term quotes, universal life quotes. You have the ability to do that on our website as well. If you need assistance on how to do that, I can definitely show you how to do that. We do have current annuity news available. Um, Annuity Grid is available for you. One thing that I think that is extremely important is now with the COVID-19 pandemic, agents are asking about underwriting. We are updating our website on a daily basis in regards to what the underwriting guidelines are with the carriers that we work with. So that's available for you as well. If you have specific questions regarding that, be more than happy to show you how to get through that. So feel free to give us a call and we can assist you on that front as well. We also have the Retirement Analyzer, which the Retirement Analyzer is there for you, the agent, to answer questions from your clients, such as, can I continue my present standard of living into my retirement years? When can I retire without running out of money? Or how would it affect my family if I were to die prematurely? We do offer the Retirement Analyzer on a 30-day free trial basis. After that, if you are an annuity producer of 250,000 in paid premium or single premium life premium, it is still available for you at no charge. Otherwise, there is a charge for it. You can give us a call. We can kind of walk you through that as well. We also have an IAMS wealth management team, and the wealth management team is designed for agents to work with those clients with higher net worth, with more investment opportunities. Charles Jr. heads up this department. They can help you increase your revenue, improve client retention, and strengthen client relationships. So if you have questions or an interest in this, please don't hesitate to give them a call. They'd be more than happy to help you with that. We also have the Life and Annuity Academy. We actually were going to have one for this week, but of course with current environment, looks like that's not happening. What our Life and Annuity Academy is a 2-day training, which includes industry's best income writers, top producer turnkey seminar systems. We pretty much talk about sales ideas and concepts, whether it be on the annuity or life side of things. It is an academy that we pay for, so we pay for your travel and lodging. Don't have information currently on the next one, again, because pretty much everything's up in the air. But if you have questions or an interest in getting additional information on this, I do have a polling question that I'm going to put up here. If you could just respond to that, we'll make sure to get additional information out to you. I'll leave this up for a moment, give everybody a chance to reply. Okay. All right, I'm gonna close this down. Next, we have a couple of trips that are scheduled. One for 2020, which is the IAMS Athene Marketing Summit. It is scheduled for August 26th through the 29th. Invitational period is July 1st of 2019 through June 30th of 2020. For additional information, please give us a call. I'd be more than happy to provide you with details on that and qualifications as far as where you're at on that. We also have the Paradise on the Pacific, which is the IAMS Marketing Summit for 2021. That is scheduled for March 7th through the 11th of 2021. Qualification periods are from July 1st of 2019 through December 31st of this year. Qualification requirements are 3.5 million points. We also have the Shores of Serenity, which is the IAMS Elite Summit. That is March 11th through the 14th of 2021. Qualification periods are the same. Minimum qualifications for this trip is 6.5 million points. Instant qualifications of 8.5 get you both trips. So for more details on that, feel free to give us a call. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Jason. Jason, are you there?
I'm here, Tony.
Okay, so let me change you to the presenter. And we should see your screen now.
All right, you got me here. Let me get my setup. All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. As Tony said, my name is Jason Goodrich, and I'm the National Accounts Manager here with Equitrust Life Insurance Company. First off, just let me thank everyone for taking time away from your schedules this morning to join me today. Obviously, we are in some very unprecedented times, so I really do appreciate you making time for me. What I'm going to cover this morning is just kind of an overview of what have become two of the most successful and competitive single premium life products in the industry today. Both WealthMax Bonus and WealthHorizon were reintroduced late last fall, and we've already seen a significant ramp up of sales in these products. I think you'll see why they become so popular as we walk through the presentation this morning. Now, I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm going to try to keep the presentation to around 25 minutes or so, and I'll just cover the products and the positioning of the products at a fairly high level. I'll also spend a little bit of time letting you know some of the recent changes we've made to hopefully make doing business with us easier in this new environment we find ourselves in. As we go through the presentation, though, please write down any questions you have. I think we'll have some time at the end where you can ask questions if you have any. Lastly, let me just thank Tony and all the great folks at Insurance Agency Marketing. IAMS has been a top marketing organization with Equitrust for both life and annuity since basically the beginning of Equitrust. So we really do appreciate their support and long-term partnership. With that, let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, before I get into the stuff, I do want to talk about a recent change that we made, and that is allowing business to be done remotely. Prior to last month, we required all face-to-face meetings to take applications. We've changed that on both the annuity and the life side. We were in the process of changing that anyway, and then of course the COVID-19 stuff happened. That just kind of sped up the process. So all there is there's an additional form you would need to complete if you don't meet face-to-face with the client. There's basically two options. One option is if you already have a relationship with the client, then you can just do it over the phone. You don't even need to do video sales. You can just do the sale over the phone. If you've never met with the client before, so if it's a new client, somebody you've never met, then you must do it via video, like Skype, FaceTime, or Zoom, or something like that. So there's just the one form you complete if you're not going to meet face-to-face. And that is just part of our application packet. The other thing we have going on is a 1% commission increase. We announced this recently. April 15th is when it began, and for any the life apps received between April 15th and June 1st, we'll pay an additional 1% commission. Okay, there's no threshold, no hurdles, no waiting period, nothing like that. It's just an additional 1% commission. So the commission on our WealthMax bonus product is 8%. What that means is during this time, we'll pay 9%. The WealthHorizon, the commission is 9%, so during this time, we'll pay 10%. It doesn't matter when it issues, it really just matters on app receive date. So I want to make sure you are aware of that as well. Okay, before I get into the products, let me talk a little bit about the positioning of the products and then the sales opportunities. First off, the positioning, there's really kind of two main positionings of the products. Wealth transfer and chronic illness. I'd say the sales we get are probably about 50-50 split between those two positionings. So wealth transfer, obviously, somebody has a lump sum of money they would like to leave to their kids or grandkids, church, charity, what have you. Single premium life is going to be a great option for that. It's an easy process of just repositioning that asset and turning it into a tax-free death benefit to their heirs, right? So that's kind of was the original design of these products when we rolled them out many years ago. What we found out is definitely is the chronic illness part of this become a lot more popular, and I'd say half of our sales are because that being the driver of the sales process is the lack of long-term care insurance. Now, these products do not have long-term care riders, but they do have a chronic illness rider, which makes it a viable alternative to traditional long-term care. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but for somebody that does not address that need, these products should work very well for them. As far as sales opportunities, one thing that I think is great about these products right now is that they're a very good option for current clients. Right. Obviously, it's a lot more difficult right now to prospect new clients, to do seminars, to do things like that. But to have a conversation with your current clients is where these products work really well. There's really kind of three key things I think as far as the sales funding opportunities. Number one, I'd say the majority of business we get, the source of the funds is cash equivalents. Right. You can see over $19 trillion dollars currently are sitting in a liquid position, in money market, savings account, checking account. I mean, that's almost equal to the national debt. So huge amounts of money just sitting out there in a liquid position Much of it's not needed. Much of it's never going to be needed by the individual holding it there. So these products are a great opportunity to take that money, reposition it into the single premium life insurance, keep all the benefits the client currently has, but add some additional benefits to what they get. We'll talk more about what those benefits are, but it's really, the phrase I always use, it's kind of like moving money from your left pocket to your right pocket, right? The money's sitting in that savings account. You take it out of that left pocket savings account, you put it in the right pocket, single premium life. Because all you're doing is repositioning it. You're keeping all the benefits that money had when it was in your left pocket, but you're gaining a tax-free death benefit and you're gaining chronic illness benefits by repositioning it. So it works really good for that type of situation. The other one is life insurance, and I think sometimes life insurance gets overlooked as a source of funds for this life insurance policy. The thing I'd say is just because somebody has a life insurance policy that they bought a long time ago, and maybe their death benefit's going to be a lot bigger, that doesn't mean that is a good fit for what their goals are right now. You see a couple examples on the screen right there. Number one, underperforming policy. There are a lot of life insurance policies out there that have not performed how they were illustrated when they were sold to the client, right? So maybe the client's paying $500 a month into this life insurance policy, but that's not going to be enough to keep it in force much longer, right? Because it hasn't performed how they thought it was going to perform. So they're either going to have to start paying more or it's going to lapse on them. So that would be a good opportunity to 1035 exchange the cash value into single premium life insurance. And at that point, they get a paid up policy. So they won't have to worry about it lapsing at that point. The second one is still paying premiums. Maybe their premiums haven't changed, but their premiums are not going to end. I have a situation where I have a group of career agents, former career agents that I work with, that sold a bunch of policies 20 years ago, where the client's still paying $80, $90, $100 a month into them, right? Old whole life policies. Well, they're performing how they thought they would perform, but they're tired of paying the $80, $90, $100 a month. So the option to them is, once again, just to 1035 it over to single premium life with Equitrust, get a paid up policy. Maybe their death benefit's going to be less, but they're going to add chronic illness benefits, and they're not going to pay premiums anymore, right? So it's a better fit for what their current needs are. And then the last one is a lot of the older life insurance policies don't have the chronic illness benefits. They have the death benefit, but they don't have the living benefits that today's life insurance does have. So it's some great opportunities with life insurance. And lastly, we have an agent who was our number one agent for 2 or 3 years in a row, who all his business pretty much was moving non-qualified annuities over to single premium life insurance. He had a bunch of old annuities out of surrender charge, very high minimum guarantees on them. Back then, he couldn't move that money into another annuity because of suitability and stuff like that. But the client didn't need the money, so it made sense to move it into life insurance. It is a taxable event, so they do have to pay taxes on it, but if they don't need the money and they pay the taxes, obviously that becomes a tax-free death benefit to their beneficiaries, and they also have the chronic illness benefits. So thought of moving over old annuities does make a lot of sense in the right situation. So there's some of the opportunities in the product positioning. Just to give you a quick example of that, if we take a 60-year-old female that has $100,000, that's immediately going to turn into a tax-free death benefit of $195,000, right? So for wealth transfer, they're almost going to double their money immediately just by repositioning that from that liquid asset over into the single premium life. Same deal, $100,000. It's going to turn, for that client, it's going to turn into $194,750 to be used while they're still alive if they need to, right? That's a guarantee. They have that money to use towards nursing home, towards chronic illness, towards terminal illness. If something were to happen to them, right? So that's going back to the two positionings, the wealth transfer and the need for living benefits. Okay, let's talk about the underwriting, and then we'll get into the specs of the product and a little case example. The great thing about the underwriting is, first off, there's only two things that really involve the client. Number one, there are some pre-qualification health questions on the application. They're knockout questions, okay? And we have a form that has them on there so you can pre-qualify your client before taking an application. Basically, they just need to be able to answer no to every question. If they answer yes to any of the questions, then they're not going to qualify, so they would not be a candidate. If they answer no to everything, then they should qualify, and then they can proceed to the phone interview. So the phone interview is a point of sale interview that typically you would do while you're meeting with the client. However, obviously, in the world we're in now, you're not necessarily meeting face to face with the client. So we have changed our procedure on that, and you're able to do the phone interview separately, right? So you can do the application over video, over the phone, the sale, and then you, as the producer, could initiate the phone interview, and then they will call your client after they talk to you, right? So your client just needs to know that a phone call is going to be coming in the next 10 minutes or something like that. And then they would call you back after they talk to the client to tell you if it was approved or declined. Right, so you're able to do this whole process without actually meeting face to face with the client. Phone interview is short; it's only about 15 minutes, so it's not very long, and that's all that involves the client. There's no parameds, right? No exams or fluid draws or anything like that. So there really is no requirement at all for the client to physically meet with anyone in order to use a single premium life sale. So based off of that, we make an immediate decision if the case is under $250,000 in premium. It's an accept reject, right? Standard to table 4. So we either take it or we don't. Now, if it's over $250,000, they will not get an approval on the phone. There will be an additional step of us ordering an APS. We at Equitrust will do that. We will pay for it. And then once we get the APS back to verify everything, we will contact you as the producer to let you know if it was approved. And as I mentioned, we do real-time notification. So we have a phone app you can have on your phone. You get notifications through. We send emails, and obviously over the phone, during the phone interview, you get the approval too. That's the underwriting process. Very simple, very quick. Living benefit rider. So I've already talked about it a little bit. A couple key things with this. First off, our living benefit rider is automatically included with every policy we issue in the states where it is approved. The product is approved in every state besides Montana and New York. Okay, so every state besides Montana and New York, the products are approved. The living benefit rider is approved in every state. The product's approved except Florida has a bit of a variation where they don't have the chronic illness benefits. So you'll want to contact IAMS or us about that if you're in Florida. But every other state, you do have the chronic illness benefits. There is no charge to it other than there's a one-time charge of $250 if they ever actually use the living benefit. Okay, with the rider, there's 3 triggers. Number 1 is terminal illness. So that's less than 12 months to live. If their diagnosis is that, we will pay out a lump sum of 95% of the death benefit tax-free to the owner. The second is nursing care confinement. This would be 90 consecutive days in a nursing care facility. If they fall within that, they have the option to either take a lump sum of 85% of the death benefit, or what most people would do is they would take 100% of the death benefit over 3 years. So you just take the death benefit, you divide it by 36 months. That's what we would pay them each month to help pay for their nursing care confinement. The third trigger, and the one probably most people look towards, is called chronic care or chronic illness. For that, you do not need to be confined to a nursing care facility. To qualify for it is just a loss of 2 of 6 activities of daily living for at least 90 days. Okay, so home health care, for example, would apply and would make them eligible for this benefit. And now with it, they have the option of to either do 75% of the death benefit in a lump sum, or once again, what most people would do is 100% of the death benefit, but it's over 5 years. Okay, so just whatever the death benefit is divided by 60 months, that's their monthly payment each month. It will show right on the illustration that you run for the client what the guaranteed monthly benefit will be for chronic illness to them, so they'll know up front. Okay, now if they were to pass away before the 5 years was up, then whatever's left is just paid in a lump sum to their beneficiary. So one way or another, that entire death benefit is going to be paid out either to them or to their beneficiary if they pass before it's all paid out. And assuming it's used properly and taken properly, it should be tax-free. Okay, it's not a long-term care rider. It's an accelerated death benefit rider, but it does fall into the long-term care requirements as far as taxation goes. Okay, so it should be tax-free as long as it's used properly. Okay, let's get into the 2 products now. So the underwriting and the living benefit riders I just talked about apply to both of these products we're going to talk about. Okay, they're the same for both products. Okay, the WealthMax bonus, this really is kind of our flagship product. It's been the number 1 simplified issue single premium life product in the market for many years, in the past. It's very popular. A lot of people have heard about it, so we were glad to roll it back out last year. Some of the basic specs on it is the issue age is 45 to 80. Minimum premium 10,000, max 750 face amount. This is a guaranteed death benefit product. So when I talked previously about, if somebody has a dying life insurance policy that's going to lapse on them, they can 1035 it to this, and they get that guaranteed death benefit, right? Without the concern about lapse. Has a surrender charge of 10 years, and has some free withdrawal liquidity and a 5% free withdrawal each year. That's kind of the basic specs. Here's the kind of stuff that I think the sizzle to it is. Number one, it has a 5% premium bonus with no vesting schedule, which is kind of unique. What that does is it gives them a kickstart right away on the product, right? So it immediately pushes up their value, which in turn immediately pushes up the death benefit and the chronic illness benefits because they get that bonus up front. Number two is the return of premium guarantee. Obviously, this has been a huge selling point with this product. And what that is exactly what it says. It's just a guarantee to get their premium back at any time. If they put $100,000 in and 3 months later something unexpected happens, they're guaranteed to always get that $100,000 back. No questions asked. Okay, and that's also why this is so attractive for like cash equivalent type sales, is because of the return of premium guarantee that it has. Okay, lastly is the two new indexes it has. It has the S&P 500, but we recently added a Barclays strategy and an S&P Mark V strategy. So two new indexes that I'll talk about here in a second. Okay, here's the rates and caps on the WealthMax bonus. You can see the point-to-points at 8%, has a monthly average participation account at 70%. The Barclays, which I just mentioned, is 125% participation, and the point-to-point, the S&P Mark V is 140% participation. And on the right, you see the illustrated rates. You see the 5.15. Because of AG 49, we're required on our illustration for the maximum illustrated rate to be based off the point-to-point cap. That's why you see 5.15. So when you run an illustration, that's the rate that we use for the illustration. However, just for your knowledge, there is a supplement within the illustration that shows the 20-year look back of the Barclays and the S&P Mark V. And the Barclays actually looks back at 7.58%, and the Mark V looks back at 7.88% annualized return. So although 5.15 is the illustrated rate in the illustration, based off historical data, there's obviously the potential for a lot better returns than that. And it is in the illustration, so you can show your clients that. And let me touch a little more on the Barclays Focus 50. That is exclusive to Equitrust, so it's only available on the Equitrust life and annuity products. As far as the volatility control indexes, I think it works really well, especially in this environment, and it's very easy to follow and understand. First off, it just uses two components, basically. It uses the 50 lowest volatility U.S. stocks, and then it uses U.S. treasuries. Okay, there's 4 different lengths of treasuries it uses, a 2, a 5, a 10, and a 30-year. And then for the 50 low vol stocks, it just takes the 50 lowest volatility stocks in the United States. What's great about this is these are companies that your clients know. These are big, boring, stable companies that people are very comfortable with, especially in this environment. Some examples of some of the companies currently in the 50 with us are Coca-Cola, Walmart, Johnson & Johnson, Dollar General, Costco, AT&T, Campbell Soup, right? All big companies that have been around for a long time that work really good, that people are very comfortable with. I think it's what makes this strategy so valuable right now in the current environment we're in. Okay, then the other one is the S&P Mark V. You may be familiar with this one. It is not exclusive to Equitrust, so there are some other carriers that have this strategy on their products. Once again, it's very simple. It's used in 3 components that most people are going to be familiar with. Number 1, it uses the S&P 500. Number 2, it uses gold, which is a great hedge against inflation, which is important. And then number 3, it uses a 10-year treasury bond. right? So just the S&P 500, gold, and the U.S. Treasury. This performed very well in the past, right? And you may be familiar with it, but just another option we have on our single premium life products. Commission, WealthMax pays 8% up to age 75 and 7.5% from 76 to 80. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're doing a 1% commission special until June 1st. So that means right now you would get 9% on the WealthMax bonus. We do have some trail options. We have an option B and an option C, and the 1% commission special applies to this as well. So like for the trail, the option C, instead of 1.25 trail, what you would get is 2.25 trail in year one, and then 1.25 trail in the years after that, right? So you'll get the extra 1% in the first year. So the 1% does apply to all of it. Okay, so what does the WealthMax bonus offer your clients? Number one, guaranteed death benefit, right? If the goal is wealth transfer, they're going to get that tax-free guaranteed death benefit. Number two, the living benefits, right? To address concerns they have while they're living. As you know, a lot of people have not addressed the need for long-term care insurance. This is an alternative to that. It's a way to address that without going through all the rigors of long-term care underwriting. And then number three is return of premium, right? This gives them the flexibility to change their mind. Really what this rider is a peace of mind rider. Most people never access it, but it does give them the peace of mind to know it's there if they need it. They can always get their money back. Okay, let's look at a case example real quick. We got Carolyn here, who's a 60-year-old non-smoker. She has $100,000 in a CD earning 2%. Her objective is to leave this money to her two grandkids when she passes. She does have a concern for health-related expenses during her lifetime. We're going to give her three options. Number one is to leave the money in the CD. Number two is to transfer it to an annuity at 3%, a MIGA. Or number three, of course, is to purchase the WealthMax bonus. Okay, so here's what the values would look like immediately at 10 years and at 20 years. First off, the CD, right? So at 10 years, you can see that CD is going to 116. At 20 years, 136. We're using a 24% tax bracket. Obviously, the CD is going to be taxable every year, so that's factored into this. Number two is the annuity at death. Obviously, in most cases, the annuity is going to be taxable too at death. It'll grow tax deferred, but at death, it'll be taxable in most situations. So you can see in 10 years, it's 126, and in 20 years, it's 161,000. And last but not least, let's look at the WealthMax bonus. Day one, the guaranteed tax-free death benefit is $195,000. Right? In 10 years, it'll be $195,000. In 20 years, it'll be $195,000. Right? That will be their guarantee. Options, so those death benefits can grow and can be higher. The $195,000 is just the worst case scenario. Now, to give you a little perspective on this, that CD at 2%, for that $100,000 in that CD to grow to $195,000, it would take it 41 years. Okay, 41 years to get there. The annuity at the 3% rate, it would take 27 years for that annuity to equal the immediate death benefit of the WealthMax bonus. So obviously, once again, if the goal is wealth transfer, it makes a lot of sense to reposition that money into the single premium life. Same example, but let's assume Carolyn does not pass away but needs to access it for chronic illness or nursing home or terminal. Hey, that $100,000 is going to get her $185,000 lump sum for terminal illness, guaranteed. For nursing care, it's going to guarantee $5,400 a month for 3 years, tax-free. And for chronic, it's going to guarantee $3,245 a month for 5 years, once again, tax-free. Keep in mind, if they pass away, if she were to pass away before it's all paid out, the remainder is still paid to her beneficiary. I do want to show you a couple supplements that show up in the illustration using the same example we just went through. The one you see here is called the Power of Guarantees, and when you run an illustration for WealthMax, this will automatically print off. I don't know how well you can see it on your screen there, but what this does is just show the client all the guarantees they're getting, basically. I think it says guarantee 9 times on this one supplement. So on the left, you see it shows their guaranteed return of premium, right? She put in $100,000. This page will show her that she's guaranteed to get $100,000 back, worst case scenario. The middle is showing her chronic illness and nursing care benefits, how much she's guaranteed to get if she needs to access a chronic illness, nursing care, or terminal. And then on the right shows her guaranteed death benefit, right? So this just shows her all the guarantees, and this is probably the biggest sales piece we have with this product, probably the most used. I know producers love this piece to show it to their clients to kind of sum everything up in one page within the illustration. In addition to that, we do have another supplement that you can print if you want to. You don't have to. It looks the same as the previous one, but instead of being a supplement on the guarantees, this is a snapshot at their life expectancy. So for Carolyn, who's age 60, her life expectancy is at age 88, right? So this is going to show what the values could look like, right? Not guaranteed, but what they could look like at her life expectancy. So you see the cash value, instead of being 100,000 like it was on the guarantees, is 219. Over on the right-hand side, instead of the death benefit being 195, which is the guarantee, the non-guaranteed is 280. And then in the middle, for example, the chronic illness guarantee was 3246. You can see it's 4675 because that death benefit's higher. So just a nice page to show what the potential, one supplement shows what the guarantee is, and the other one shows what the what the potential is at life expectancy. So great little pieces we have in the illustration. Okay, that's the WealthMax. Let me touch quickly on the other product. And I'll tell you, the sales are pretty much split, about 50-50 between these two products. And you'll see why in a second. So the WealthHorizon has basically the same standard features of issue age and things like that. It's a little younger issue age, goes up to age 80. 5% free withdrawals again. What's different about the Horizon is it does not have the premium bonus, and it does not have a return of premium guarantee. Right, so they don't get the 5% premium bonus, they don't get the ROP, but instead of that, what they get is they get a higher face amount, right, which is a higher guaranteed death benefit, and they get a lot higher caps and rates and a lot more growth potential within the product. It also has these same Barclays and S&P vol control strategies on it. So here's the rates and caps on the WealthHorizon. You can see the point-to-point cap's 11%. On the WealthMax, it was 8%. Right, so when I say it's a lot higher, I mean it is a lot higher growth potential on the WealthHorizon if they're willing to give up that return of premium guarantee. Top illustrated rate is 6.62. Once again, though, if we look at the look back on the Barclays, the 20-year look back, it actually annualized return at over 9%, and the Mark V was at 9.26%. So once again, great potential in those two new indexes we have on there, plus the great rates on the regular S&P strategies. Because there's no return of premium guarantee on this, it maybe is a little harder to sell. Because of that, we do pay a little more commission on it. So instead of 8%, we pay 9% plus the current 1% incentive, so a total of 10% commission. And you see the option B, and the option C is the same, the 1.25 trail. I just want to show you the same supplements I showed you before for the WealthMax, but this is for the WealthHorizon. Right, you can see on the right-hand side, the guaranteed death benefit is 208, right? It was 195 for the WealthMax. And in the middle, and because of the death benefit being higher, the chronic and nursing care benefits are going to be higher as well, too. Okay, so I just want to show you that. It does show they're a higher amount. And then the life expectancy supplement is a lot higher, right? For the WealthMax, the death benefit on the life expectancy supplement was 280. For the WealthHorizon, it's 414. And the nursing care benefit was 7,700 on WealthMax. It's over 11,000 on the WealthHorizon. And the cash surrender value on WealthMax was I can't remember what it was, but it's 323 on the WealthHorizon. So point is, give up the ROP, get a lot more growth potential. And to help with that, we created a supplement just recently to put in our illustration that if you want, you can show your client comparing the two products. Right? What we found out is a lot of people go through the sales process using the WealthMax bonus because of the return of premium. And then at the end, they show this supplement comparing the two products. And what happens a lot of times is the client looks at the illustration side by side and decides that maybe they'll go with the WealthHorizon because they don't need the return of premium as much as they want to get those higher death benefit and higher values. So there's this supplement that comes up in the illustration, if elected. And you can see right here, it just shows, you can see the guarantee between the WealthMax and the WealthHorizon. Now notice when you look at the cash value of the WealthMax, it starts out at 100,000 and stays there for a long time because of the return of premium. right? Well, the WealthHorizon doesn't look near as good on the guaranteed side because it doesn't have that guarantee. But once you get to year 12, the guaranteed cash value is a lot higher on the horizon and continues to get higher and higher and higher. The death benefit guarantee on the WealthMax starts out higher because of the premium bonus than WealthHorizon. Eventually, Horizon catches up with it, then stays above it. After looks like year 6. By year 6, the WealthHorizon has a higher guaranteed death benefit. And this is on the guaranteed part of it. On the non-guaranteed part of it, you can see the accumulation value on the WealthMax once again is higher because of that premium bonus at the beginning. By year 10, the WealthHorizon passes it up, and then by year 20, it's well ahead of the WealthMax. Right. So what you're seeing is with the WealthHorizon, long-term growth, years 10 plus, you're going to get a lot better value with the WealthHorizon. So I think it's a more popular option with a younger client, maybe a 60-year-old, where if you have a 75-year-old, you may be more prone to go with the WealthMax and think in a shorter time frame with the value. So that's something you can show your client. That can be part of the illustration if you elect it when running an illustration to compare the two products. Okay, to summarize just a little bit, we got the two products, WealthMax and WealthHorizon. The WealthMax is really about guarantees, right? Return of premium guarantee, guaranteed death benefit, where the WealthHorizon is more about growth and long-term potential. You give up some of the guarantee to get the higher death benefit and higher returns. Both of the products have the accelerated death benefit rider. Both of them have a guaranteed death benefit. Both of them have that Barclays index, and both have the point of sale underwriting process. With that, that's all I have. Tony, you with me?
Yes, I am. Had to get you off of mute there.
Yep.
Okay, so let me switch back over to me. I'm going to open this up for a couple of questions here real quick.
Yeah, I apologize in the middle there. I accidentally shifted over to a different call and had to shift back, so I was afraid I was going to lose you.
No worries. So I wanted to open this up for a few questions. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to type that in and make sure to answer that for you. In the meantime, do have a couple of polling questions that I'd like to ask. If you'd like to get more information on the products we discussed today, I do have a polling question for you. If you could respond to that, make sure to get some additional information out to you. I'll leave this open. Looks like quite a few people want more information. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this down. And if you're not already appointed with Equitrust and you would like to get appointed with Equitrust, got a polling question for you on that as well. If you could just respond to that one. I'll make sure to get the necessary appointment paperwork emailed to you. Okay, I'll go ahead and close this down. And one last opportunity, if anyone has any questions. And Jason, it looks like we don't. So
Okay.
with that being said, on the life side of things, there are 4 life sales directors. There's myself, and as you see here, my email address, which is tony@iamsinc.com. We have Reed, Jess, and Jason. They are in our Topeka office. Reed's email is reed@iamsinc.com. Jess' email is jess@iamsinc.com, and Jason's is jason@iamsinc.com. You could also give us a call here at 800-255-5055. So with that, any final words, Jason?
No, I just appreciate everybody taking the time this morning, and I hope you'll take a closer look at these products and reach out to us with any questions.
I will second that. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out today. Everybody stay safe, and we'll talk soon.